So the alleged predator slash grifter spoke to another thug and grifter. Yes, I'm talking about Russell Brand and Tommy Robinson. Let's get straight into the interview because I'm sure it's going to be nuanced, enlightening, and really truthful.
Tommy Robinson. But your real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon. Now, your real name is Steve. Now, why won't you just put on a riding hat and admit that you're called Stephen Yaxley? I see you on an interview once, mate. I see you go. You ate it, didn't you? You ate it that they do that Tommy Robinson thing, don't you? You ate it. Mate, are we recording? Yeah, we're recording. All right, where was you last time? I was ready to do an interview, then I look on X.
Just two working class guys representing their people, just telling the truth, really sticking it to the man.
Tommy Robinson, lamps a geezer in the underground. No, he started it. What's it like? I'll tell you. I know once you start, you're going to go. So I'm going to get it out of my system.
Oh, get out of
I'm going to get it out of my system. I see you on Jordan Peterson. He sent me it.
Oh my God.
That was
another grifter, from two grifters to another grifter.
so mad, that one. Okay, so Tammy's brought Tommy on. Okay, so Tammy, tell me, why do you want Tommy? Let's talk to Tommy. Well, I just think he's very important. What's happening? There's you looking all proper wired, all wired up in Stone Island, all Stone Island up. No, because what it is, right? I was in Centre Parks. That's not my kid. I've smashed him. I'm like, this geezer's life, man. Now, I've been watching you for a long time. I've been watching you longer than, I bet you, even when there was stuff going on, I reckon it must be over 10 years ago. Even the stuff where I think he was maybe with Mo Ansar and they were doing that stuff, trying to get working class British people and Muslims to get it on. But ages ago, Tommy, I thought I thought if the Labour Party can't reach the people that this geezer's reaching, there ain't no point having a Labour Party. That's what I thought ages ago, when I still would have been like...
What, far-right racist thugs who lie about Muslims, kind of misrepresent crime statistics and don't really care about working people. They just care about harming brown people. Really?
I'm not sure about this geezer and all of that, when I would have had a lot of liberal stuff. But I've got so much to ask you. I'm not going to talk all the time, but just for the benefit of our audience, for the benefit of the tape, Mr. Yak.
Yeah, like liberal stuff like free speech, equality, democracy, the free marketplace of ideas, No, he doesn't like that anymore. Of course he doesn't.
Actually, Lennon, I'm not going to call you Tommy Robinson. I won't call you that. For the benefit of the tape. I don't know if you're old enough to get, if your early police interviews took that style, mate. That's how when I used to get interviewed as a lad, when I used to get arrested, they had to still say for the benefit of the tape. Now, cameras, we were recording you before you got here. We've been recording you in your car for Panorama. You just got to assume you're being taped the whole time. But what I wanted to say is, I'm from a place called Grays in Essex. You're from Luton. I know Luton. I know people from Luton, and I've listened to what you've said about growing up in Luton. So I know where you're from. I know it. And I sort of, to some degree, know what you've been through. But we're from different worlds in another way, because I've been in Hollywood and all of that kind of stuff. I've been sort of liberal and I've been on the left. What I mostly want to, I'm sort of, as you can probably tell, excited to talk to you. But I know...
I would love to have a serious conversation with Russell. Like, what changed your mind from liberalism? Because he wouldn't really have an argument, because it's because of the allegations, obviously, and he can make more money. So, like, a lot of right-wing grifters like Elon Musk, like Dave Rubin, and these people who, see that, oh yeah, you can make a lot of money on the right. Like, what would he actually say? Because, some annoying woke people made you become, a conspiracy theorist, far-right grifter. Like, really? Is that really it?
Same as there's a lot of people hate me, I know there's a lot of people hate you. So, I'm trying to, I want to have the
Yeah, but why is that? Like, analyze that. Like, have some self-reflection, self-introspection. Why do people hate you, Russell? Why do people hate you, Stephen? There are good reasons. There are reasons.
Conversation that's going to be most valuable. So I'm going to go in on the thing I thought about most. Do you think like that British working class people can throw off the systems of control that seem to be pretty threatened now with all the, excuse me spitting, all the Epping protests and all the stuff around the Bell Hotel and all that, mate, if there isn't some cohesion and unity between, say, British working class and different British groups, which I think, which would include, I reckon, Muslim groups to a point. Like, what if it's
To a point, the good ones, the good ones, not the jihadists or the evil terrorists. What? Again, and I hate this. Sargon does this. So many right-wing grifters like frame it like, oh, he's working class. Like, they don't give a shit about the working class. They don't care about raising their wages, trade unions. They don't care about, okay, well, what solutions are there to bring up the working class? Like, they don't believe in. Do you think he really believes in taxing the wealth of the billionaires? Maybe he does a little bit. Like, maybe he's still got a bit of liberalism in him. But come on.
if the position of position that you want to orient the British working class towards is explicitly and deliberately anti-Muslim, do you think that it can succeed? Or do you not care about that? You only care about your authentic point of view, and your authentic point of view is that Islam has been a kind of a curse on British cultural life.
Starting off,
but there's no evidence of that. Like, what evidence? Again, they can't provide the evidence. They always talk about in this emotive way, like, oh, Sharia laws being implemented, these jihadists. What evidence is there? Because as far as I'm concerned, the biggest threat to UK democracy right now is the far right. Tommy Robinson, grifters like Russell Brand, Nigel Farage, Rupert Lowe. These are the people who threaten democracy and our liberal, progressive way of life. They don't care about the working class. They just care about wealth, power, and really just hating on brown people. That's it. That's all they love.
wow, you brought some energy there.
And I'm 22 years clean, baby. It's not going up Utah.
That's usually me. I'm usually. I would say we're not anti-Muslim for starters.
Yeah. Because they don't lie. Far right people, racists, never lie about. We just don't. We're not anti-Muslim. We just don't want Muslims in our country. We just want to, ethnically cleanse 1 million Muslims. We don't hate Muslims. Like, come on, no one buys this. Like, and if you do, you're pretty dumb.
I have an anti-Muslim view. Yeah, Muslims are individuals and people. I do have an opinion on Islam. What do I think? I think on the 13th of September, you're going to see us unified Britain. When I say unified Britain, I had a meeting.
Not really. You're a small minority. And this is happening right now, today, as you're watching this. How? You're a small flank of a radical far right that don't represent British values, liberal values of democracy, equality, free speech, freedom of movement. You do not represent them. You are dividing the UK. You are the one who is dividing us.
Yesterday with Sikh organisations. I've had 2 meetings this week with Sikh organisations. Organisations that we've covertly and secretly worked with for the last 15 years. We've worked and partnered up in dealing with grooming gangs, in dealing with racist attacks that they've...
What, white grooming gangs as well? Wow, great. Oh, no, you don't talk about them, do you? Only when they're brown.
Faced. I'll give you an example. When I was leading the English Defence League in Essex, the Sikhs have a summer school. At that summer school, they were coming under attack by...
Again, I don't care about these anecdotes. It's always bullshit. Like, he's either lying or just misrepresenting. Like, there's no reason to really trust anything this guy says because he lies.
Gangs of young kids on the estate. 30, 40 youths on a Friday night were smashing the windows, attacking them, calling them terrorists and chanting EDL. And back then, this is during the English Defence League days, the Sikhs had rang me. I'd gone down onto the estate on a Friday night with some of the lads, met the kids, and they're like, Tommy, I said, what's going on with the summer school? And they said, oh, they're fucking terrorists. I said, lads, they're not terrorists, man. Do you know the history of them? And it's just education. And after sitting with the kids, we then brought all the kids up to the Sikh summer school as the Sikhs come out and totally broke down that barrier. Yeah, because there's a lot of barriers. Now, what you're going to see us do is unify Britain. And for the purpose, and the reason I had the meeting with the Sikhs yesterday, they're concerned. Their community are concerned because this anti-migrant sentiment, which is now exploding against mass immigration, their concern is that it's not just against bad migrants. It's not just against those that have come and taken liberties and taken the piss in Britain. Yeah.
Who are you talking about? Again, emotions, feelings. Like, can you back this up with some data sources? Obviously, he won't, because it's all fear mongering. It's all scare tactics to like be like, "Ooh, the scary brown people coming over."
They're worried that, and we're actually seeing this. I know there's been a lot of attacks against Indians in from what I'm seeing. Yeah, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole on it across Europe.
See, no evidence from what I'm seeing. I'm not looked into it, but I've seen things. Yeah, anecdote. It's always anecdote with these people. They don't care about data. They don't care about, oh, is there a broader issue here? And how can we solve it? They just want, we just want remigration, mass deportations. These are not serious people who want to actually solve social problems or issues of integration where there is any, or like, how do we bring people together? It's never about that. Like, and he has to kind of have this woke language, like coat it in like, oh, we just want to bring people together. He does not want to do that. Obviously, he can't say that explicitly, but he has to kind of like coat it in like wokeness.
Now, so what we will do, so I had a meeting with the Sikhs and said, I believe it's imperative that you show where you stand on this issue. And that Sikhs, and they have always done this anyway. Every one of our events are Sikhs, yeah? But I believe you need Sikh representation speaking at our event. I believe you need black representation speaking at our event, which we will have, and we do have. Now, I have spoke to a Muslim lady.
It's all identity politics. That's all they care about. Oh, black people are this, white people are that. I'm white working class. The Sikh community. Why not bring people together around class? Why not actually try and solve these issues and go, wait a minute, yeah, refugees, they're people too. Like, what about representation from refugees? He won't talk about that.
About coming to our event, whether they do or not. But my issue with Britain and what we want to do, and when you're talking about how people uniting against the control element of the government, the betrayal of the government, I think what we're seeing, I'm excited with what I'm seeing because I've waited 15 years for this. Yeah, in the sense that I've been banging my head against the wall sometimes, trying to warn the public.
Excited about what though? What, people painting on roundabouts, people going to protest, sometimes violence. Like what? What is this solving? Oh, people are angry. Oh, it's a tinderbox. What you want? Like discontent? You want riots on the street? Because that's what he's saying. Like, it's gonna explode. Nothing is inevitable about this, and I can't watch any more of him because he's just so like, oh, betrayal. Like, this was the Tories. Like, Tories increase immigration. This is because of Brexit. And also, we need to have a conversation about immigration and go, okay, what are the pros? What are the cons? How can we create policy that alleviate any of the cons? But they don't want to, they hate freedom. They just don't like brown people. That's it. But they can't be honest about it. It's like this kind of like virtue signal, like, oh, we're going to have representation. No one believes this. Like, their own people, Tommy Robinson's fans don't believe this. He's like, but he has to like, he's like doing his like a PR thing of like, oh, I'm not racist, guys. No one believes you're not racist. Anyway, thank you if you got to this part of the video, please hit the like button and I'll see you next time.